Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Daily Blend. I'm your host, AC. And in studio with us today, we have Brittany Hilderbrand. And Brittany is the owner of the Writer's Block, LLC. How are you, Brittany?
I'm doing well, Donica. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me about writing, right? I've had to write things, articles, counting words, all the things that just give me the cringes. But what you're saying is there are professionals out here who can help us with writing and copy editing. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Anything that you have a passion for, you can do well. And also understanding that practice does not make perfect, it makes consistent. And I've made writing something that I want to do and love to do consistently. And so that led me to build a business, Writer's Block LLC, which I've had for 3 years now. And it's really just been an evolution of how can I help other people enhance their voice. Really, it started from me realizing, sitting in a class and realizing, what's the difference between estate tax versus death tax? Nothing.
Oh, because I was like, I don't know.
Truly, there's no difference. It's just how it resonates with the audience. And so that's what words do for you. And when you have professional copy editors or people who operate within that wheelhouse, they can help elevate your brand, elevate your tone, and kind of walk you through to the next level where you're trying to reach your audience.
So I would imagine organizations and businesses maybe sometimes have a need for this, but maybe don't realize that they have a need for it.
Sure.
I think about all the things that we write, social media, articles, papers, dissertations, all those things. How can a copy editor, a professional, help you elevate or help get your message across more clearly?
Well, the gist of it really is that you have to know what you want. And so even if you're writing your dissertation and you know who your target audience is, so your audience is that committee, you have to know what your committee is looking for. And so if you're able to express that to your copywriter and then, give us the bones, we can definitely flesh it out and give you that detail and those punch words that they're looking for to be able to elevate that voice. Now, every type of writing is not the same, and everybody's style of writing is not the same.
Right.
And so you learn that you're not just dealing with the words on the paper, you're dealing with the tone and the style of the person who wants it to reflect them. Now, there's 2 caveats to that. You can write it yourself and have somebody actually copy edit it.
Okay.
Or you can have somebody write it for you, and that becomes your voice.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that's 2 differences that people don't realize sometimes when they come to a professional copy editor. They're like, well, this doesn't sound like me. And it's like, well, I can't sound like you specifically unless I spend a lot of time with you.
Right.
Or I've researched this area or this topic where I'm a subject matter in. But if you're looking for a general copywriter and just say, hey, I need a little help, fleshing this out, putting proper grammar in place and ensuring that it's structurally sound, that's what we can do for your writer's block.
Understood. And quickly before we go, I know we have a lot of nonprofits in this town. A question I hear all the time is, grants. I need grant writers. Is that something else that a copy editor can do for you, like a professional service that can help you write a grant?
So a copy editor and a grant writer is not the same thing. You don't necessarily need to be professionally trained, but you need to be exposed to the industry.
Understood.
And so if you're operating within social services like we are and have professional background in doing so, that's an area where we can support you most definitely.
Wonderful. Brittany, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem at all.
Next time I need something written, I know exactly who to call.
I appreciate you.
We're here with Kerri Bloss, the marketing coordinator for Nothing Bundt Cakes, but I call Kerri our community joy dealer.
Absolutely. That's what I get to do.
You do. And tell me about how you guys are supporting this community and just spreading joy wherever you go with these lovely
Absolutely. So after coming out of 25 years in the nonprofit world here in town, our owners, which we are locally owned and operated, came to me and said, we need you to work for us. And I was like, not really a baker kind of girl. They were like, no, we need you in the community. You know everybody. You know what's going on. Get out there and spread that joy. So that's what I get to do. I get to pop up, do this. I get to partner with great organizations like Como 411.
Yeah.
and just be part of the community. So we want people to know that we are locally owned and operated. We're employing people right here in Columbia and partnering. So like, we're so excited to be partnering that That's What She Said. So
Yes.
when everybody comes, they're going to get them a little cake to have in the audience and a little snack on that while everybody's talking. We were proud to sponsor True False Film Festival and had different things at Reality Bites and filmed with the artists and the volunteers to give them some little snacks throughout the weekend. And just different nonprofit events, being a dessert sponsor or dessert tables or helping out at golf tournaments, things
Yes.
like that. So just really being part of the nonprofit community, which is fun being on this side of it, having spent so much time on the other side of it.
Yes. So for those who don't know, you spent how many years at Boys and Girls
25,
Club?
well, it's 10 years at Boys and Girls Club and 15 years at Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yeah. So you know the nonprofit community
Yes.
here in Columbia.
Yes.
And so now being on the opposite side, where you get to
Yes.
go in and say, "Hey, can we help?"
Yeah.
Like that's really what I've been so struck by and impressed with. That you're always like, "How can we help?
Right.
How can we help?"
And if they're like, well, we could just do this, I'm like, how about this, this, and this? And
I
they're like,
know.
oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
I know.
Aha, sweet.
I see what you
Exactly.
did there. I see what you did there.
Sweet, joy, all the things. So that's what we want people to know, that we are part of the community. We're here. You know, we live here. We love it here. I love this community. I wouldn't have made it my home. I love for us to be able to give back. Of course, we like people to buy our cakes too.
Sure.
But we also love to be able to be part of helping those nonprofits when they have a zero budget for an event. And, you know, they need a dessert sponsor. Let me come in. We're helping out with True North. We're going to be their dessert sponsor for Little Black Dress. You know, that's a huge weight off of a
It
budget.
is. Yes, absolutely. Because people maybe don't realize, like when these nonprofits are having these events,
Right.
they don't have huge budgets. I mean, you may walk into an event and think, "Oh my gosh, this looks really nice. They must have spent." But a lot of times, some of those things are partnerships. They're on trade.
Right.
People have donated certain
Right.
things. The goal is not for the nonprofit to spend a lot of
Right.
money on the front end, right?
Right.
And
And
so
make
you
that
guys
money
are-
and put it right back into the
Yes.
organization.
And you guys are able to sometimes come in and say, "Hey, we can help."
Yeah, and sometimes even if I see something happening like on social media or even on your channel, and I'm like, hey, what can we do to help? What do
Yeah.
you need? Do you need something for a sponsor? Do you need things like this, you know, for your speakers? I saw
Yes.
people walking down the street with that. You
Yes.
know, it's just something added that we can do, and it gets that out there for people. And who doesn't love a little sweet treat in the middle of the day?
Listen, I always love a sweet treat. in the
White
middle of the
chocolate
day.
raspberry, if
White
anybody needs
chocolate
to know.
raspberry is my favorite, so that's you can always pop in and bring me one of those. for
Yes,
a gift.
absolutely.
It's my favorite. Kerri, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being our local joy dealer.
Thank you.
Sweet.